All right, welcome to second episode of Think Time Theory. I'm Ed.
I'm Azmi.
All right. So, we wanted on this episode we want to talk about a little bit of collecting philosophies, specifically my collecting philosophies, because we're going to be presenting my stuff a
That
little
is
bit
an
later on.
interesting one.
Yeah. How about you? What do you think is for you your collecting philosophy?
My collecting philosophy is very, very simple. You know my taste.
Buy what you like.
Buy what I like, but that doesn't mean breaking the bank.
Right.
My preference in watches are mostly divers, and 99% they have to be black,
Yeah,
blacked
blacked
out,
out.
blacked out. If I want to buy a Rolex, I will go and find the whole world for a black
For the
Rolex,
black one, yeah.
for a black one.
Yeah.
You know, so that's my philosophy, and I always buy what I like. You know, I'm not into.
That's a really good.
I'm not into the trend. No, I'm not like you, where I buy and sell watches.
Right.
I'm just purely buying for the love of it,
Yeah.
loving something, even if it's a $10 watch.
Exactly,
You know,
yeah.
right? So that's my philosophy, basically, right? And maybe one of those few occasions, maybe I will buy a watch because of some special occasion,
Yeah.
right? Just like this one, back again.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So what about you, bro? What about you? I know you.
you know, but-
I know you have a very, very interesting,
Yeah.
which I have to mention again. That's why I love this guy. I have the deepest and utmost respect, especially in watch collecting. Yeah.
You know what? Like my collecting philosophy has changed so many times over the years.
Yeah.
I started collecting specific things like only G-Shocks, for example, or only Seikos for some time. But as of right now, it's taken a pretty interesting turn, I think. Initially, I wanted to have a collection of one watch per brand.
That's
You know?
what you told me
Yeah.
before.
One watch per brand, because I'm not a fan of any specific brand in particular. I like them all. So I wanted to experience different watches from different brands because, for example, let's say you get a watch from Rolex, for example, right? And you get two watches that maybe look different, right? Initially when you look at them, but in reality, right, the company has what they call a design language,
Yeah.
right? So there's something very similar from each model to the other model. So every time I wanted to put a watch on, I wanted to experience something totally different.
Totally different.
Totally
yes.
different,
Yes.
right?
Okay. So, with that, what you said, for every watch you want to experience something different, right? Can you just tell me, for example, if I don't know anything about watch collecting, I don't know what's a chrono, I don't know what's a diver, you know, I don't know what's a, say, moon phase, I don't know anything. So what do you mean by that?
Like, what I mean by that is, for example, not about the functionality per se, because the functionality is something different, which is another tier of what I'm going to be explaining. But I'm
Okay.
talking about the way it looks,
Right.
the way it feels.
Right. Right.
If you notice, Omega, for example, has a specific way they do the case.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So
yes.
maybe a model from Omega has the same case, and a different model will have maybe like a different dial or a different functionality. But when you put it on the wrist, there is a lot of similarities,
Right.
which is fine. I mean, if you love something, it's fine. You can get maybe 10 of them,
Yeah.
you know. But for me, because I love so many, of course, I cannot have 10 watches of Omega, 10
Yes.
watches of Rolex,
Right.
you know. So I wanted to try to like hone it down where like I can find the best watch that I like
Right.
from each brand,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and experience that watch
Right.
to the fullest, you know?
Right. Right.
But it's many different tiers, man. It gets really geeky, to be honest with you, when you think about it, because there's many levels to it. So I'll start with the first, which is like I wanted to have one watch per brand, which I haven't done yet. I do have one one brand that I have two watches of.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But in general, I'm 90% there.
Okay.
All right, that's the first. The second one is that it's kind of like for me to how do you call this, to justify right each watch. So I wanted every watch to have specific functionality
Right.
that would give me something else as opposed to time only.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So it could be so many different things. It could be something like totally useful, like a chronograph, or
Yeah.
it could be something like maybe less useful, like a color.
Yeah.
All right?
Or one of those Casio watches that can transform into a robot.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's
something.
something, right?
Yeah, because in my mind, when I think about it, I don't want to have something just because the way it looks.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
In my mind, maybe that's just me trying to justify, like I said,
Right.
having something that is going to give me some value.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So if I need to go diving, I have a diving watch.
Yeah.
If I need to dress up, I have a dress watch.
Yes.
If I need to pilot an airplane, I have a watch that I can pilot an airplane. You know what I mean? That's just the fantasy in my head.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah,
And the justification of it.
Yeah.
So that's another level, right? And the third level of this geekiness was the fact that I wanted to have pairs.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So I wanted to have a pair of watches that do something similar, but slightly different.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And I will give you many examples about that. For example, I have a dive watch, which is a traditional dive watch.
Yeah.
Which is a count up dive watch.
Yeah.
But then the second one, it will be a dive watch from a different brand, but it is a countdown bezel watch.
Just like you showed me the other day.
Which is super geeky, honestly.
Yeah,
But
many people won't actually think about it
yeah,
because every dive watch has a bezel
right.
countdown.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but this is totally
Exactly,
different.
something different.
And people, if they like it, they might just buy it because it looks nice.
Yeah.
But if you look into the details, right,
Yeah.
there is an actual function why they do it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the gist of it. I know if you follow me, it'll make sense when I start presenting the stuff. But I definitely I know it's very geeky.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Right. So if anybody wants to follow him, Edwin, on Instagram, that's what's it?
My Instagram is ATC as in air traffic controller _ed. ATC ed.
And mine, I have a few, but since we are in the topic of watches, it's Milk Jam at MYLKJAM. Okay, why jam?
Yeah.
It's not that we are jamming. Jam in Malay
Yeah.
is a watch.
Is it? Really? I didn't know that.
It's a clock.
Wow,
It's
okay.
So Milk is my DJ profile.
DJ name.
Yeah, DJ name. DJ Milk. So I'm gonna put our details on the copywriting. So if anybody wants to follow us, just click that like and
subscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We'll
we
see
are
how
done
this
with
goes.
we are done with episode 2.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? Right.
Yeah.
So
Stay tuned for more craziness.
stay tuned for episode 3.
Yes.
Right.
All right, guys. Thank you.